Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you are amazing and you are doing great in your life. In this particular video, you are going to learn about the tools in Premiere Pro. So this is a 3-part tool series in Premiere Pro where you will learn all about the tools in Premiere Pro. So you will learn how to use them properly for any kind of editing. So 2 parts are already out. In the first part, we have covered the move tool, track forward tool, track select backward tool and the ripple edit tool. Or in the second part, we have covered the rolling edit tool, braid stretch tool, slide tool, razor tool and the slip tool. So if you have not watched those videos, please do watch them first. The link of those are in the description section below. So in this particular video, we are going to cover the tools, and the tools are pen tool, rectangle tool, ellipse tool, hand tool and the type tool. So these tools will be covering in this particular video. So if at any point of time, if you don't understand anything and if you have any question, you can always leave that in the comment section below, or you can directly DM me on Instagram. My ID is @Harshvardhanart. So without further ado, let's get started.
Alright, so now let's learn about the rest of the tools, and the next tool in this series is the pen tool. So if you click on this, you will see the pen tool. You can press P on your keyboard to have the access to the pen tool. So pen tool is basically used for creating a shape. So if I want to create a shape, so I can just click and I can create a shape, something like this. Okay, so I've created a shape. So basically this is a shape, and you can see right on the top it has created a shape or a new layer. Alright, so what I can do, I can use the move tool and just move it anywhere else I want. Okay, so that was the one thing. So if I just delete this, let me show you. So that was the simple shape. And if I would like to create a curvaceous shape, or I want to create the curves in the shape, so I would create 1 point, click second, and before I leave, I need to drag my mouse, so that way a curve would be created. And if I click over here, that's going to create a curve and curve and curve. Okay, so you can create different type of shapes using this one. And if you select this layer, and if you go to the effects control panel and select on the opacity, so that way we can create the mask. So there is a ellipse tool and a polygon tool, and this pen tool. So if I select the opacity, and from the opacity, if I click on the ellipse tool, so that's going to create an ellipse, is basically the circle, and you can just drag it anywhere. So that way it will show only which is visible right over here. But if you want to create this inverted effect, click on the inverted, and that way it won't show the face, but it would show the entire rest of the image. Alright, and if I just delete this mask, I will press delete on my keyboard, right click, or even I can click on select clear, and I can use the pen tool and I can draw a circle or shape, something like this, or different kind of a shape using this pen tool. Okay, and that way it creates this kind of a amazing shape, and I can drag it anywhere. So again, it works as a mask. If you press on the inverted, that's going to invert it and it would show rest of the image. Alright, so that's the pen tool, and this is how we can create the mask as well. So right click, clear, and if I select this 4-point polygon mask, So that's going to create a rectangle mask, and if I want to expand it, you need to click on these corners. So that's going to select this one and press shift and drag, and that way both of these would move together. Otherwise you can select the one and drag it up, select the second, drag it up, click, drag it up. So these are the different options of creating the mask in the Premiere Pro, and using the span tool you can again create some shapes. Okay, so I can create some amazing shapes. Shapes are basically used for different kind of a purpose. We can use them as a mask, or we can use them as a background for the text as well, or for design. All right, so let me just delete this. So that was the pen tool, and we have the rectangle tool. So rectangle tool basically creates the rectangle shape, so we can just drag and create any type of a shape. And if you want the perfect rectangle, then you need to press and hold shift while creating this. So let me show you. If I press shift and drag, so that's going to create the rectangle, or sorry, square, perfect square. So that way we can create perfect square. So that creates the shapes, and we can just do whatever we want with this. Press the V to select the selection tool and drag it anywhere else. Okay, so let me just delete this, and then we have the ellipse tool. So ellipse tool is basically going to create the ellipse shape. So if I just drag, and it's going to create a circle. So I can make any kind of a shape like this, this, or this. But if I want a perfect circle, you have to press the shift, press and hold shift, and that's the way it's going to create the perfect circle, no matter how large you make it. So this has been created. Select the move tool or selection tool and drag it anywhere else. So that way we can use this shape tool, and these are the tools for this purpose basically. So these are also sorry, very helpful for the creating different designs. And now if you select the pen tool after selecting this shape, you can see, you will see this kind of a point. So you can click any of these and drag, click and drag, and you can modify this, and you can create amazing liquid shapes with the help of this one. Select this again. You can even drag them outside or inside. You can create new points. Okay, so if you click anywhere else, that's going to create a new point, and drag it. Okay, and this is the shape we have just got. We can change its parameters like its color and everything else by just going to the essential graphics panel. If it is not shown over here, go to the Windows and select the essential graphics, and that way this panel would be available over here. So we have got the shape too, and we can change its color to, let's say, something like this, red. We can even choose its stroke, so we can click over here and that would create the stroke, and we can increase the stroke size. So you can see the stroke size has increased. We can even create the shadow, so that create shadows. So increase the opacity of the shadow. We can choose its direction of the shadow. We can increase its size, blurriness, and opacity, and all these. So we can even create the mask with shape. If we check this one, that's going to create a mask with shapes, and we can click invert, but in this there is nothing, so it won't work. So that is basically used for creating the titles or text, so that way it's going to be very helpful, right? So that was the three tools: pen tool, rectangle tool, and ellipse tool. Now let's come to the next tool, and next tool is the hand tool. If you click on this, If you press H on your keyboard, that's going to create the hand tool. Okay, so hand tool is basically selecting this, so you can just click and drag it. So suppose if you have zoomed in to this by clicking on this like 100%, 150%, and now you want to move it to this area, so you can just click and drag, and then you can browse any of the particular part of this. Alright, so hand tool is basically for this purpose only. So this is basically for dragging something here and there, and it works only if it is zoomed way more than this window. And then we have the zoom tool, so we can zoom the timeline. So zoom tool is basically helpful for zooming out in the or zooming in on the timeline. And if you want to zoom out, press Alt, and if you press the Alt, that would turn into the subtract point, and if you click, that's going to zoom out. Okay, so if you click zoom, that's going to zoom, and press Alt, and that's way it's going to zoom out. All right, and now we have the next tool, and next tool is the text tool. So if you click on the type tool, or you can even call it text tool, so if you select this and click anywhere else like here, and I can type anything. Okay, and I can change all of its parameters by going to the essential graphics, double click to select the text. I can move it anywhere, so I can adjust its position, top, bottom, and I can change its style if you have created any style, or I can change this font to something else like Nexa Black. Okay, I can change its alignment, left, right, and all that. Let's make it center. I can just increase the size, lower the size. I can change text fill color, let's say this one. I can add the stroke. I can increase the stroke width from here. Okay, I just need to hover my mouse and drag it up and down. I can add the background, so background would be added, so I can change the color of the background as well. So if I make it complete black, you will see that, and I can change its opacity. Right from here I can increase opacity to 100%, and you can see we have got the background. I can increase its stroke, or so that way it would be expanded. I can even change its curves, so let me show you. Let's make it red. Okay, and now you can see the corner of these are very sharp, so I can make them round with the help of this option. So this option is recently added to the Premiere Pro 2021, I think. So you can just round out these edges, so that way it looks more amazing. You can add the shadow as well, so that's going to add the shadow to the text, you can see. So I can change all of these parameters, like I can increase the opacity of the shadow, and I can change its angle. Okay, so that way I can control the direction of the shadow, and I can increase its size and its expandation and its blurriness. Alright, so that way we can create some cool text right over here. And if you want to save it as a motion graphics, then you need to come over here, right click and select export as motion graphics template, and then you can give it a name, and you can choose the folder, and you can give it a keywords, and that way let me just type cool text and type over here cool 3D text. Okay, and I can choose the local template folder or local drive. So if you want to save it on your PC, you can choose that as well. So I'll just press OK, and this process would take some time. And thereafter, if you go to the essential graphics and if you browse, you will see this template is right over here. So next time you don't have to do anything, just drag it over any clip, so like this. Okay, and I have not adjusted it properly, but you can just do this right from here. Okay, you can change its text by just double clicking on the text cool 3D text. So you can create text preset using this technique as well. So now let's move on to the type tool, and this time we have the vertical type tool. So vertical type tool is basically simply if you want to create a vertical type, so just click over here and you can type vertically. So now we have got a style, so it's going to create every style with the help of this one. So I'll just double click it and I can make it smaller. Okay, I can change this, remove the stroke, etc. And you can see it created a type tool and it types vertically. So suppose for any reason if you want to create the vertical types, then this is very helpful. Alright, so those were the tools in Premiere Pro. We have covered all the tools. If you have not learned the previous tools, then do watch the previous videos or previous parts of the series where we have covered each and every tool in Premiere Pro step by step. What do you want to learn next? Do let me know in the comment section below.
So thank you so much. I hope you have found this tools series in Premiere Pro useful. If you did, hit the like button. If you have any question or if you want to say something, leave that in the comment section below. And don't forget to check out my website for more amazing tools and presets for video editing and photo editing. Some of them are free and some of them are paid. So if you want to support me, go ahead, buy some of my paid presets and tools to help this channel to make more and more free stuff for you guys. So thank you so much. Bye bye. See you in the next video. Till then, keep shooting and unleash the creative in you. Bye bye.